Have you ever kissed someone so deeply, that time itself seemed to disappear? So deeply that the world faded, the past went silent, and only one heartbeat remained. This isn't just a love story, it's a memory you'll feel long after the music ends. If you believe love can heal what time tried to break, if you believe some kisses rewrite destiny, then subscribe now, because the stories we tell here aren't just watched, they're felt. Time never truly stopped for Alara, it only learned how to hurt more quietly. The clocks still ticked, the seasons still changed, and the city still breathed its endless noise, but somewhere between yesterday and the ache she carried in her chest, time lost its meaning. She lived inside filtered memories now, the kind softened at the edges yet sharp in the center, like photographs that looked beautiful until you stared too long and remembered what had been cut away. Every morning she woke to sunlight touching the same window, every night she fell asleep to silence that felt heavier than sound, and every moment in between was haunted by a name she never said aloud anymore, Julian. They had once believed love could outrun time, that if two hearts beat hard enough together, the past would loosen its grip and the future would wait patiently. They were wrong. Time doesn't wait, it watches. They met on a rainy evening that felt ordinary to everyone else. The cafe was nearly empty, jazz humming softly like a secret meant only for those who listened closely. Alara had been sketching absent-mindedly, drawing circles she didn't realize were forming the same shape again and again, when Julian asked if the seat across from her was taken. His voice wasn't dramatic, wasn't confident in the way movies teach men to speak, it was gentle, uncertain, real. She looked up and something shifted, not like lightning, not like fireworks, but like the moment just before you remember a dream you forgot. They talked about nothing important and everything that mattered, music, lost plans, childhood fears, the strange comfort of strangers. When he smiled, time leaned in. Their love didn't explode, it unfolded. Slowly, beautifully, painfully honest. They learned each other in fragments, favorite songs played too loudly, silences that didn't need filling, arguments that ended in laughter because neither knew how to stay angry. Julian kissed her like he was afraid the moment might run away if he rushed it. Alara loved him like she'd been waiting her whole life without knowing for what. They built rituals, late-night walks, shared headphones, fingers intertwined while watching the city lights blink like stars fallen too low. And sometimes, when he pulled her close and whispered, "Stay right here," it felt like time obeyed. But life has a cruel talent for interruption. Julian carried his own shadows, ambitions that pulled him forward, fears that pulled him back, a past he never fully explained. Alara sensed it in the way his smile sometimes faded too quickly, in how his eyes drifted when he thought she wasn't watching. Still, love makes us brave in foolish ways. We believe presence can heal absence. We believe kisses can rewrite endings. When he left for the first time, just for a few weeks, he said, she waited with hope stitched tightly into her chest. Messages slowed, calls shortened, distance learned their names far too easily. When he finally returned, he was both familiar and foreign, like a song played at the wrong speed. They tried to pretend nothing had changed, but time had already carved its quiet marks. Arguments grew sharper, silences heavier. Love remained, undeniably, but strained, stretched thin between what they were and what they were becoming. One night, beneath dim streetlights, Alara asked him the question she'd been afraid to speak. "Are you still here with me?" Julian didn't answer right away. That pause, that single, trembling pause, lasted longer than any goodbye. They broke without shouting, without drama, without closure. Just two people holding hands while realizing they were already letting go. His final kiss that night was desperate, lingering, trembling against her lips as if he could pour time backward through breath alone. "Kiss me," he whispered, "until I forget time." She did. And when he walked away, she felt the future collapse quietly behind him. Months passed. Then years. Alara moved forward because the world demanded it, not because she wanted to. She built a life that looked complete from the outside, work, friends, laughter practiced well enough to pass. But inside, she archived memories like old film reels, replaying them in moments when the world slowed just enough to hurt. She told herself love fades. She told herself time heals. She told herself many things that sounded true until the nights grew long again. One evening, while sorting through old files on her laptop, she found a folder she didn't remember saving. Filtered memories. Inside were short voice notes, Julian's voice, recorded years ago without explanation. Some were laughter. Some were silence. One simply said, "If you're listening to this, I wasn't brave enough then." Her breath caught. Time cracked open. The next message was dated weeks after he left. He spoke of fear, of choosing ambition over intimacy, of believing he needed to become someone worthy of her instead of realizing he already was. He spoke of regret, of love that never left, only hid. Alara listened until dawn, tears blurring years together, realizing the ending she'd mourned was never the whole story. Days later, she received a letter. Handwritten, familiar, impossible. He was back in the city, not asking for forgiveness, not demanding answers, only asking to see her once, to return something he never gave back. Curiosity fought fear. Love fought pride. She went. They met where they first did, the same cafe, same window, same rain tracing patterns down the glass. When he looked at her, time stumbled. He was older. So was she. But the space between them vibrated with everything unsaid. They spoke slowly, carefully, as if one wrong word might shatter the fragile present. He apologized without excuses. She forgave without promises. When silence came, it felt different this time, not empty, but full. Outside, the rain returned like memory. Under the streetlight, he reached for her hand, uncertain again, just like the first time. "I don't want to steal your future," he said softly. "I just want to be honest about my past." Alara stepped closer, heart racing not with fear, but recognition. When their lips met again, it wasn't desperation. It wasn't regret. It was presence. A kiss not meant to erase time, but to accept it. And in that moment, time didn't disappear, it softened. It forgave. It allowed them to stand still, not because they were escaping life, but because they had finally learned how to live inside it. Some loves aren't meant to last forever uninterrupted. Some are meant to break, to teach, to return transformed. And sometimes, the kiss you waited years for doesn't take you back, it brings you home.